All right, let's talk about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, but in a interesting fashion. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. I thought Prescott played very well, and even when the offense ultimately wasn't able to score in the second half, it was for some kind of weird reason. They really beat themselves, and we'll talk about what happened and maybe what this means for the Cowboys moving forward. Yes, they're 0-1, but it is a long season. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with some positives. I mean, there was a lot of positives starting off this game. Let's start off with the play you see on your screen right here. So this is going to be a zone coverage concept. It's actually really clever by Dallas, where you have CeeDee Lamb running what you expect to be this route, a deep shot, which, hey, maybe you can, get past the defense, but usually it's just pushing the safety further deep. You can open up something more underneath on a 3rd down and 1. There's a play action here, so you get the linebackers out of position to play action, safety deep, someone else can get open over the middle. That's usually what the idea is. But instead, that's what CeeDee Lamb is going to do. Fake as though he's going deeper towards the middle of the field, and instead cut back towards the sideline. Watch how, when Prescott runs this play action, he's going to look down the field. The pressure almost gets there, but hey, if you have a well schemed up play, you can sometimes the best way to protect the quarterback is with a good route, right? And you see right here, CeeDee Lamb is open. This is a really well ran route by Lamb, who is a very difficult guy to cover. Prescott makes a nice throw, and they're able to pick up that big completion. So, yeah, I mean, the way that this team is going to go, the way this offense is going to go, is going to be with, the key 3 players. You have Dak Prescott, of course, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. Early on, we saw Pickens make an impact on this play, which I have to say, some criticisms here by the Philadelphia Eagles defense with the play call. This is a 2nd and 23. For some reason, they're running a cover 1 play, only single safety deep, one-on-one matchup on the outside. Do not fully understand this, especially George Pickens, kind of known for being a good jump ball receiver. Prescott says, well, let's put it to the test. As you see, so this play begins. Prescott, good jump of his eyes, right? Doesn't look over to Pickens. He was going to throw it to Pickens all the way, but looks over the other side of the field quickly just to try and make it seem as though that might be what he's doing, but you get the one-on-one matchup. There's no separation, but it's Pickens, right? Let's see what happens. Here, Pickens can't quite make the play, but part of it was because his left arm was getting held by Quinyon Mitchell, so the flag gets thrown. Also, Mitchell didn't do a great job of making it seem as though he was playing the ball at all. He kind of just turned around and was pushing Pickens, which, listen, camera cut over at a certain point. I'm sure Pickens was doing some stuff earlier, but ultimately, once the ball comes, you got to play the ball or you got to let go. Again, that's why you throw it up to George Pickens, right? He can beat you in more than one way. And then also this, I showed a CeeDee Lamb play, I showed a George Pickens play, let's show a Dak Prescott play, right? I mean, this is a 2nd down and 7 zone coverage that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in. Prescott takes the snap, nothing gets open right away, and there is pressure. I mean, this is what you talk about when you talk about the great quarterbacks and what separates the good quarterbacks from the great quarterbacks. Everyone knows Prescott's a good quarterback, right? Everyone knows he can make plays, run the offense, that kind of thing. But there has been questions over, is he a great quarterback, right? I think, most of us have kind of put him in the good, not great tier. Well, this was a great play. Watch him elude that pressure, gets around another Philadelphia Eagles player, and is going to go over here trying to hit CeeDee Lamb. And once again, this is going to be another good CeeDee Lamb play. It's a great play by Prescott to give his number 1 receiver a chance. Of course, it's funny, Zach Bond, he thinks he is about to have a pick. He's trying to jump this route. And what Lamb is just going to alertly do is keep going back toward the football. Watch as he kind of steps in front of Bond. He ends up with not the interception, the catch instead. Bond probably looked at his hands and said, where's the football? Because he thought for sure he had that. But this is also where chemistry comes in. I don't know if Prescott makes that play, if it's not CeeDee Lamb who was running that route. But since it is CeeDee Lamb, yeah, I know he's going to come back to the ball. Let's give him that chance. So this is, it's smart stuff. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was just playing unbelievable at times. There were times when he was just borderline unguardable. This play was another one, which I have to say, again, some questions here with the Eagles' defensive decision-making. Jacorian Bennett is going to be covering CeeDee Lamb one-on-one. Maybe this is one of those things where, hey, let's put our better corners on the other guys and we'll have a safety over the top. But, Cowboys aren't going to throw too far down the field. There's no timeouts, 15 seconds. I don't want to bring up bad memories with the Dallas Cowboys of, no quarterback sneak here, right? Let's just say that. But this play goes about as you expect. CeeDee Lamb just able to really effortlessly get the inside leverage. You make the catch. They get right around the 1st down marker, which they don't care about. They actually on this play, I can't show it play for too long or I'll get copyright claimed. They didn't do a great job at letting the ref through the offensive line here either, but there was enough time. They got the snap off, they kicked the field goal, everything was good. But yeah, while I'm having some fun, it was really good stuff by CeeDee Lamb and by Dak Prescott on these plays. It really was. We also saw some good Cowboys rushing, I mean, that's something that we hadn't seen a ton of in last year, certainly. There was a lot of talk of should they have signed Derrick Henry and all of that stuff. But hey, we saw some nice plays. You see that one, this is Miles Sanders who's going to take the handoff on this play. And one thing I like about it is that he really is letting his blockers lead the way here, right? Like that's not what everyone always does. Sometimes you want to just get to the outside quickly, but he's very patient. And then the running lane is going to open up, and he's able to go a long way. And if it wasn't for Zach Bond, he might have had a touchdown on that play. Unfortunately, this resulted in a fumble not too long after. I mean, there was some kind of weirdness with multiple penalties and things like that. And it was Miles Sanders who fumbled the ball. So ultimately, good rush, but kind of ruined it with the fumble. But still, I mean, hey, at least you're running the ball effectively. This play was certainly less than ideal on a 3rd and 10. Prescott, had an open CeeDee Lamb who just dropped the ball for a second. You're worried that was even going to be a pick. That didn't ultimately happen. But again, you see this angle. I mean, that's just right through CeeDee Lamb's hands. So again, getting, wide open. But this was obviously tough because it was 3rd and 10. They had an opportunity to, be in field goal range at the very least. When they punted the ball away, you were wondering, are the Eagles just going to score a touchdown and put the dagger in the Cowboys' right? Then, luckily, the Cowboys defense stepped up and didn't let that happen. But it was, luckily for the Cowboys, that's how it worked. But yeah, definitely, a rare mistake. So, offense humming, and then all of a sudden starts beating itself with the fumble and with the drop pass here. We then saw Vic Fangio really flex his muscles. This is just a stunt. It's nothing too crazy, but, dialing up the right play at the right time. We saw really him being able to get guys into the backfield very quickly when he knew the Cowboys would be throwing the football. It's 3rd and 10. Of course you're throwing here. So you see what happens. The way this works, I mean, you see the interior defensive lineman kind of moves further in, draws the guard further in that direction, and you see Nolan Smith has a straight shot to, get into the backfield at this point. And for Prescott, if you don't have an option to throw right now, which he doesn't because, you need receivers to get 10 yards down the field, what do? Well, really, he does what he can. He just, tries to find a way to make it a completion. Hey, maybe your player can break 3 tackles and get a first down or get close to it. You can go for it. No chance going for it there. Have to punt the ball away yet again. At first, I thought this play was going to end up being the play we all talk about. This is a dropped pick here. CeeDee Lamb slipped, so that's also kind of worth noting. CeeDee Lamb kind of messed up here by just slipping. Hard to blame him, but we then would get some plays where it was maybe a little easier to blame him. Here, I mean, it's 1st and 10. So what's going to happen is, Prescott's going to have CeeDee Lamb, and he is open. I mean, look at this situation that you have. Lamb has passed the defense. This could be a huge gain. Perfect, and then oh no, just dropped. Honestly, Reed Blankenship could have potentially had the interception there. Beautiful throw from Dak Prescott, right? I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. It's just it's right in the hands, and just can't grab it. Hey. It happens to the best of them, right? That really what it comes down to. Then the 4th down and 3. So it's going to happen here. As you see, Prescott takes a snap. I'll pause it right here. All-out pressure. So, what do? Well, you throw it up to your best player, right? You throw it up to your best receiver. That's what Prescott does. And it's again, is it dropped? Kind of. He gets both hands on it, but also, that would have been an incredible catch had CeeDee Lamb made the grab. No one's blaming him for not making that one. But at the same time, we've seen him make those catches in the past before too, right? So either way, it's just, it felt like they had their opportunities here. Unfortunate that part of it came with, their debatably their best player who was playing great early on, making some mistakes. Ultimately, despite the disappointing end, I do think this was an overall positive game by the Cowboys. I thought they were well coached. Prescott played great. You're not going to get those drops every game. You're not going to lose the turnover battle every game. You just played the defending champs, and honestly, maybe should have won the game. The defense showed up in the second half, only gave up 3 points, very good stuff there, but ultimately it's a long season, and I do think they showed some real promise week 1. This was not what I was expecting. Hey, this was the biggest line of the week heading into week 1 was the Cowboys. They were the biggest underdog heading into the week. really playing the Eagles close. I think that's impressive. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.